Hello friend, welcome back to our channel KBS Technocrat. Today we are going to understand what are the timer triggers, basic of timer triggers, what is CRON expression for scheduling, creating a time trigger functions in C Sharp, best practices and troubleshooting. Let's understand what is timer triggers. So a timer trigger is a job function that runs on a specified schedule. The purpose of this is that automated task, schedule job, periodic data processing. So these timer triggers are basically just like a schedule job. So when you create a timer trigger and try to use it, you will be providing some a time interval when this uh, trigger should be periodically runs, right? So the use cases basically for batch processing, right? You want to run a batch processing task on every night 12 a.m 12 p.m or any given time, right? So if you want to run any batch processing, regular data cleanup, for example, if you want to run a job which basically clean up some kind of data, right? Sending notification like sending email notification or some kind of notification which you want to send it every a day or every predefined time interval. In this kind of scenarios we can use it. So as we discussed, like we can use for batch processing, regular data cleanup, sending notification, any kind of notification. So let's understand how time triggers works. So time triggers basically is based on the CRON expression. CRON expression is one kind of expression which is used for scheduling. We will discuss in more detail when we create a example, and then we'll try to understand. So basically it executes a function on defined schedule. So schedule will be defined for each function defined on that Azure function apps. Let's say consider Azure function app can have a multiple Azure function, and each Azure function can have their own scheduling, right? And then uh, uh, we can configure multiple way, but the most popular way and is that CRON expression. So that we will discuss on that how we can use CRON expression. Okay, so before we move on understanding what is the CRON expression, I will just minimize this PPT and then we will create a solution. So I'm opening Visual Studio and then I will create a timer trigger, right? So it will take few seconds. Once it's loaded, we will till the time we will try to understand what is cons, right? So you can search this cons time scheduler, right? Cons time schedulers, right? So this is website where you can see that basically it's just a way of defining a schedule, right? It's a one kind of expression. So basically it contains like multiple place predefined format, right? So the first is, if you select here, first one is minute, and then second one is hours, third one is day of month, fourth one is month, and day of week, and then there is optional parameter called year, right? So this website you can use it for understanding this expression. Let's create that function. So I'm going to create a new uh, project, and then I will select the Azure function. I will create next, and then I will create here timer triggers demo, right? And I will select my code repo, right? And then I will click on next. All right, and here we need to select the timer trigger. So we will select the timer trigger here, right? And then this is what we are talking about, right? So this is the schedule, right? When you want to run it. So if you want to run it on every 5 minute, then this expression is there. So let's create it and then we'll try to understand that how we can define the schedules, right? So this is by default is provided in the template of the Azure function when you are selecting a timer trigger. That means this Azure functions will keep triggering on every 5 minutes, right? So if you see here, this is what it is. So this is okay. Let it load it completely. The NuGet packages are getting installed. So like other triggers, is the same. It will have a function attributes on top of that, and then the trigger types which accept the time schedule in cons format, right? And then inside this we can define what basically job you want to do, that what task you want to do that, right? So this function is scheduled on every 5 minutes, right? Every 5 minutes is going to run it. Okay, we will run it, and then we will try to see that how does it works, and also we will try to understand how to define this con syntax, right? So in more detail. So I'm running it till the time it runs. I will go through the ppt, and then we will try to understand here. Okay, so in this, uh, as we have discussed, this is just an expression. In this expression, the format is containing the first parameter is minutes, hours, day of month, day of week, year, right? So year is optional parameter here. So for example, if you want to run if functions on every 5 minutes, then on the first place we have to define 0, then we have to define star backslash 5, and other parameters are strict. When you are defining strict, it means for every day, for every, right? Every month, every day. So that means it's considered every day, right? Every day, whatever. For example, if you don't define backslash 5, that means it will consider as every hours, right? And then day of month, if you're defining star, means every day of the month it is going to run it up. That, so star is just like a placeholder, which means all, right? Every day, every time. So if you want to run a Azure function on every day at noon, then you give her 12 here, right? Because third parameter is, the second parameter is hours, so we are defining 0 hour, 12, right? 0 to 12, right? This is what the 12. So the time format is 24 hours format, wherever you are defining, that's how it is, right? If you want to run a function first day of every month, then you will define the day as a one, right? So that's how it works. Now let's see our Azure function which we have created and we are running, how it works, right? So it's started, and again we need to wait for 5 minutes. Let me reduce the time. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the time a little bit. So I'm going to run every minute here. So I'm just going to make it one. I run. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Let it runs. So if you want to run on only weekday, then you have to define 1 to 5, right? The day index start from, if you see here, a day index in the last, right, day. So day start from 0 to 6. So 0 is Monday and 6 is Sunday. So whatever date you want to run it, you can define it here. So Sunday to Saturday. That's what it is. Now 0 to 6. So if you want to run any Azure, any function only on weekdays, then you have to define 1 to 5, right? 1 to 5 kind of things. And similar way, month also you can define it. So month also is a 1 to 12. If you want to run only on, let's say, January, February, and March, then you have to div 1 to 3, something like that, right? That syntax you can follow it. Now let's go here, and we can see here it's running every minute now. So it runs, the last run it's happened 7:31, 2024, 12:24, right? Now it runs again 12:25, something like that. So let's wait for 12:25, and we'll see that it will log that. is logging here because we have added the log here, so it will log the date time now, and then we'll see that the next schedule is happens. So just to demonstrate, I just make it every minute. It's based on your requirement when you want to run it. So still we can see is 12:24. We will wait for a couple of more minutes to, sorry, couple of more second. Okay, so you see that every 1 minute interval is running because we have scheduled in that way. Let's understand a little bit more detail on this, right? We talk about this. So we have run that one local, local function, and we understand. So okay, best practices about this, how we can follow the best practices. So basically we should avoid overlapping execution by setting appropriate interval, handle exception and error, and prevent function failure, optimize performance based on the function execution every time and frequency. Common issues, basically whenever you are going to create a timer function, always check your CRON expression. There are multiple tools you can verify this CRON expression for scheduling, right? And also whenever you are going to define this CRON, make sure that you are validating your CRON expression. Also you should include the app inside logs for exceptions, right? So that you can trace it when it does not run and when it runs. So I hope it's given you a little bit insight for timer triggers. If you think it helps, please like, subscribe,